presents Logger Basketball 1996. Tonight, the 173rd meeting between the Park Falls Cardinals and the Phillips Loggers. The Loggers on top of the Lumberjack Conference. Park Falls coming off a big win against Tomahawk. A slightly different team than we saw up in Park Falls. The Loggers winning the first game of the series 60-51. The series record, Park Falls has won 92 times. Phillips has won 80. The toss-up between Bushman and Matzik, won by the Loggers. Matt Pallas to the hole, counter for two. 7:52 left in the first, and the Loggers strike first blood. 2-0 the score. The Logger lineup the same as they had against Colby. That's Brian and Jerry Petrozellik here on Parasite. The swat by Jerry Petrozellik, and possession stays with Park Falls in their forecourt. 30 is Brian Petrozellik. He's the senior. 32 is Jerry Petrozellik, the sophomore, who had 17 up at Park Falls. The shot by Bushman is good. And Phil Bushman with his first points of the ball game. 2-2 with 7:34 left in the first. Matt Pallas, 22. 54, Justin Matzik, and 52, Dan Zaves, make up the Logger forecourt. Pallas in the corner, won't try the three. Out to Jerry Petrozellik, won't try it either. To Brian up on top, back to Matt Pallas, goes inside to Matzik, knocked out of bounds by Daryl Palachek, and possession stays with the Loggers. The Park Falls lineup, Jerry Pritzel, 22, is a freshman. Yes, it's the relation of Jody Pritzel. And a 5-second call. Great defense by the Cards, and the Cards will have possession in their backcourt. So it's Jerry Pritzel, number 22. He's at point. 24 is Daryl Palachek. He's a 6-foot junior. And 30, Mike Vitimus, is 6-foot junior. They're the three backcourt players. 40 is Phil Bushman, the 6'4 junior. He and Eric Palachek, 42, a 6'1 senior, are the forecourt players. Jerry Pritzel with his first points of the ball game. 4-2, Park Falls by a pair. Jerry Pritzel played JV ball in the first game. The shot was short. Zaves had it. Out of bounds off of, I believe, Vitimus, and possession will stay with the Loggers. And the Loggers will have it in the corner on the far side with 6:36 left in the first. The inbound by Brian Petrozellik, needs to get it in, gets it into Jerry. Cross to Zaves. Will he put it up from 16? I don't think so. Brings it out to the perimeter. Off to Pallas. Has the open spot. Won't take it. Tries to go inside to Zaves. Goes into traffic and taken by Phil Bushman. The steal, attempted steal by Matzik, but it goes ahead to Jerry Pritzel. Pritzel, way out on the perimeter, guarded by Jerry Petrozellik. Off to Eric Palachek. Inside, attempted for Vitimus. And possession goes to the Loggers. 6:12 left in the first. Three-quarter court pressure by the Cards. 2-2-1 three-quarter court. Ball knocked away, I believe, by Daryl Palachek, and possession stays with the Loggers at midcourt with 6:07 left in the first. Loggers at 5-0. The three by Matzik, no good. Rebound, Mike Vitimus. Loggers have a heavy schedule coming up the next 5-6 days. 4 games in 6 days. Pass down court to Jerry Petrozellik, goes inside. Out to Matzik. Dishes to Zaves, and he's fouled. And I don't know if it's a pass, if they're going to call it as a shot, which means he'd go to the line. Otherwise, it will just be Logger possession underneath. The foul called on Jerry Pritzel. That's his first. Team foul 1 on the Cardinals. And Brian Petrozellik will inbound. Off to brother Jerry, out to Matt Pallas. The Loggers at 5-0 lead the Lumberjack Conference. Lakeland with 2 losses now in the season. 1 to Phillips, 1 to Ashland. Matt Pallas for 3, rims out. Rebound, Brian Petrozellik. Dishes off to brother Jerry. Through his hands, out of bounds. Possession goes to the Cardinals with 5:32 left in the first. 4-2, Park Falls on top. Pritzel brings it across. Off on the far side, that's Daryl Palachek. Guarded by Brian Petrozellik. Takes it to the hole. Won't go. Rebound. Justin Matzik ahead to Pallas. 2-on-4 break. Matt pulls out. Back out to Brian Petrozellik. Had the open three. Doesn't take it to Jerry. Across to Matt Pallas. Goes baseline. Goes past Palachek. Off to Matzik. His shot. No good. Ball tipped. Recovered by Eric Palachek. And here come the Cards. An up-tempo game hurting the Loggers right now. Pass inside for Vitimus. Saved into the hands of Bushman, and a travel called on Phil Bushman. Possession going to the Loggers in their backcourt substitutions. 32, John Vitimus is a 6-foot senior. 50, Trent Hagman, who's a freshman. And 20, Derek Larson, a 5'11 junior, check in for the Cardinals. And they will be on the court with Pritzel and with Bushman. Still three-quarter court pressure. Ahead to Matt Pallas, and he'll be called for the travel as he took the couple extra steps before he put the ball to the floor. 4:50 left in the first. 4-2 the score. Pritzel on the near side to John Vitimus. Goes inside, intended for Hagman, but goes right to Zaves. Ahead to Matzik. Goes across to Brian Petrozolik. His shot short, around the rim. Rebound by Hagman off of Matzik, and possession goes to Park Falls. But the Loggers completely out of sync here in the first period, except for that first 7 seconds when the Loggers were real smooth. The first 3.5 minutes, just plain ugly for the orange and black. Larson gets it off to Bushman, off on the far side to Hagman, to John Vitimus. With Pallas on him, drives inside, stopped by Zaves, takes it to the hole, shot no good. Rebound Matzik ahead to Pallas. Loggers 3-on-4 break. Matt pulls out, takes the tray, short. Rebound Jerry Pritzel. 4:05 left in the first. Pass down court to John Vitimus in the paint for two. John Vitimus with his first points of the ball game. 6-2, Park Falls by 4. Into Zaves, puts it up over John Vitimus, and it's good for 2. Danny Zaves with his first points of the ball game. And it's a 6-4 Park Falls lead. Pritzel on the near side to John Vitimus, looks inside for the cutter, goes to Bushman in front of Zaves. His shot off the backboard, no good. Pritzel with the board in the bucket for 2. Jerry Pritzel has 4. Pass ahead, 8-4, Loggers down by 4. Pallas to Jerry Petrozolik to Brian. Had the open trade, passes backdoor to Matt Pallas for 2. The junior with 4 of the Loggers 6 is a 2-point game once again, 3:20 remaining in period 1. Hagman goes in for Bushman, out to John Vitimus. Goes for the cutter, Hagman. Stops, puts it up in front of Matzik, and it's good for 2. Trent Hagman with a pair. 10-6, Loggers down by 4. Pallas will launch a 3, but he'll be called for the travel as he moved both of his feet. Matt pleading his case, but he won't get anything out of it. As returning to the Park Falls lineup is Eric Palachek, 42, in for the first time for the Loggers. Bill McCormick, number 50, and 44, Jason Woody, replacing Zaves and Brian Petrozolik. The 3 by Pritzel, no good. Rebound McCormick. Matzik off to Woody, back off to Matzik for 3, no. Rebound, John Vitimus, who lands on the floor and is called for a walk. 2:44 left in the first. And the Loggers will inbound underneath, down by 4. Jerry Petrozolik with the inbound substitution as Mike Vitimus will return, and he will replace Jerry Pritzel. 2:44 remaining, period 1, 10-6 the score. Pallas for 3, in and out. Rebound goes to Hagman, the release quickly down court to Mike Vitimus. The shot is good. Mike Vitimus gets his first points of the ball game. 12-6 the score. Loggers down by half a dozen with 2:27 left in the period. Jerry Petrozolik straight on 3, no good. Rebound Hagman ahead to Eric Palachek to John Vitimus. 2:18 left in the first. Mike Vitimus stops, and he'll be called for the travel. Substitution on the court as Jerry Petrozolik and Justin Matzik sit down. Brian Petrozolik and Dan Zaves return. And Bushman returns as Hagman sits down for Park Falls. 2:10 left in the first. Loggers down by half a dozen. Pallas on the O. Won't try it from 24. Goes inside for McCormick. Goes past. John Vitimus is swatted by Mike Vitimus. Recovered by Pallas. Across to Brian Petrozolik. His spot for 3, wide right. Off of Zaves in possession to Park Falls. And the orange and black self-destructing in front of the friendly confines. Begging eyes. 1:50 left in the first. And now I imagine Chuck Wolf will slow it down a little bit. Good, that nice patient shot. Nice feed inside to Eric Palachek. Takes it to the hole. He doesn't get it, but he'll shoot two. As a foul called on Dan Zaves. That's his first team foul, one on the Loggers. Each team with one team foul. 1:41 left in the first. 12-6. Park Falls by half a dozen. And Eric Palachek with a chance to make it 8 if he converts on both sides of the two-shot foul. The first for the senior is good. Eric had 6 points against the Loggers up in Park Falls in game 1. The second for the senior is good. Eric Palachek 2 for 2. He has 2 points in the night. 14-6 Loggers down by 8. McCormick will be called. McCormick is fouled. And the Loggers will take it out on the side. As the foul called on Eric Palachek is his first team foul, too. As Trent Hagman and Jerry Pritzel will return. Eric Palachek sits down and Derek Larson sits down for Park Falls. Justin Matzik returns and Matt Pallas will sit down. 1:35 left in the first. 14-6, an 8-point Park Falls lead. Matzik looks for the cutter. Off to Brian Petrozalik. Goes inside, puts it up from 13. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound, Jerry Pritzel. Pass ahead to John Vitamus. To Jerry Pritzel. 1:20 on the clock from 22 short. Rebound, Justin Matzik. 2-on-3 Logger break. The sophomore pulls out. Off to Zaves. And to Brian Petrozalik. 1:09 left in the first. Loggers need points down here to cut the lead to 6 or 5. Zaves keeps the dribble off to Matzik. Justin off to Brian Petrozalik for 3. Yes! Brian Petrozalik with his first points of the ball game. It's a 5-point lead, 14-9. And a foul called, I believe. I'll wait for the indication. The foul will be called on Bill McCormick. That's his first team foul, 2 for the Loggers. As Darryl Palachek, 24, returns to the lineup for the Cards. Jerry Pritzel giving the signal for one shot as Park will go into the corners. A 5-point Cardinal lead, 14-9 with 41 seconds left in period 1. Almost thrown away over the head of Jerry Pritzel. Off to Darryl Palachek. Palachek guarded by Zaves. Goes past him, slows it down. Now in trouble, gets it off to Pritzel. Knocked away by Matzik. Recovered by Mike Vitamus. 22 seconds left in the first. 14-9 the lead. Park going for one shot. Darryl Palachek. 16 seconds left in the first. Darryl Palachek stopped, in trouble, gets it off to Mike Vitamus. 10 seconds, they've got to go to work. Gets it off to Jerry Pritzel. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Inside to Bushman from 15, off the back iron, no good. No second shot will go off. We are at the end of the first. We have played 8 minutes of basketball, and the Park Falls Cardinals are on top of the Phillips Loggers. The score, 14-9. This is Logger Vision's presentation of Logger basketball on Price County Telephone Company Cable, Channel 6. What? I wasn't listening. I don't know what you said, and I really don't care. And the Cardinals have possession as we begin period number 2. Park Falls up by 5, 14-9. The pass to John Vitamus goes to a lucky fan in the stands who gets a souvenir, and possession to the Loggers. Full court pressure by the Cards, but the Loggers break it. Brian Petrozalik, the foul called on Mike Vitamus. That'll be his first team foul, 3 for the Cards. Loggers have to show a certain amount more of aggressiveness here in the second period. It's not Loggers have been taken out of their game plan. They like to run, but Park Falls slowing the run and up-tempoing it when it's necessary only for them. Palace on the perimeter, off to Brian Petrozalik, across to Zaves, to Jerry Petrozalik, goes in underneath, the shot's up, counted and one! Jerry Petrozalik gets his first points of the ball game and a chance to make it a three-point play. The foul called on Trent Hagman. That's his first, team foul 4. On the Cardinals, the Logger lineup, they're starting 5. Jerry Petrozalik, a 54% free throw shooter, converts the three-point play. Jerry has 3. It's a 2-point ball game, 14-12. On the far side, at the top, Jerry Pretzel off to Mike Vidamus. The turnaround in the paint from 12 is good. Mike Vidamus has 4. 16-12, Loggers down by 4. Pass ahead to Zaves. Loggers break the pressure again. Out of bounds, I believe it'll be off of Bushman, and possession will stay with the Loggers. 7:09 left in the second. 16-12 the score. Inside to Jerry Petrozalik to the hole. Won't go. Tipped by Matzik. That won't go. Third time is the charm because Jerry Petrozalik can't get it out of his hands. So we'll go to the line and shoot a pair. As John Vidamus will return, Mike Vidamus will pick up his second foul. Team foul 5 on the Cardinals. 7:04 left in the second. No, they aren't. They say he wasn't in the act of shooting. And possession underneath by Brian Petrozalik for the orange and black. That's going to be a 5 call. No, it won't. Pass across to Zaves. Break for the Loggers as 2 players go for it. Zaves from 15 off the back iron. It hit the support up above. And possession will go to Park Falls. 6:56 left in the second. 16-12 the score. Loggers down by 4. On the far side, that's Daryl Palachek. Looks for something to move inside. Wants to go for the cutter. Wants to go for John Vidamus, who's back in the ball game, but doesn't get to him. Goes off to Pretzel. Knocked away by Jerry Petrozalik. Loggers 3-on-1 break. Matzik into Jerry Petrozalik to the hole. Counter for 2. Jerry Petrozalik with 5. It's a 2-point ball game once again. 16-14, 6:25 on the clock here in the half. John Vidamus stopped by Brian Petrozalik. Wants to go again. Stopped again. Inside for Bushman. Goes past Zaves. The block by Palace, and I believe Matt will pick up his first foul. This team foul 3 on the Loggers goes to Matt Palace, his first. And that will send Phil Bushman to the free throw line, his first time to the line tonight. The junior has 2 points in the evening. 6:16 left in the second. 16-14. Park Falls by 2 as the first rims out. Cardinals 2 for 3 from the free throw line. The Loggers 1 for 1 from the stripe. The second for Bushman is no good. Rebound, Pretzel inside, pass Zaves, it won't go. Ball tipped away from Matzik, recovered by Daryl Palachek. Circles back inside, goes across for Pretzel, but taken away by Jerry Petrozalik. 2-on-1. Brother Brian to the hole for 2. Brian Petrozalik with 5. It is 16-16 with 5:56 left in the second period. Pass ahead to Daryl Palachek. Across to Hagman. Tries to go baseline, puts it up. Swatted by Matzik. Jump ball. Possession goes to the Loggers. And Chuck Wolfel wants a timeout. 5:49 left in the second. It's a tie ball game. The Park Falls Cardinals 16. The Phillips Loggers 16. This is Logger Vision's presentation to Logger basketball on Price County Telephone Company Cable, Channel 6. Loggers on a 7-2 run to start out period 2 and tie the ball game up. Jerry Petrozalik will bring it down. Park Falls, no backcourt pressure. This time down. Brian Petrozalik off to Palace. Palace on top. Tries to go inside. Stopped. In trouble. Gets it off to Jerry Petrozalik. Won't try 3. Stop. Double team. Shots up. Shot long. Rebound John Vidamus. 5:30 left in the second. 16 all. On the near side, that is John Tomzak who's in the lineup. Taken away by Zaves. 34 John Tomzak in the lineup for the first time for the Cardinals. Brian Petrozellik looks to go inside. Backdoor won't go. Scramble for it, recovered by Masick, and a jump ball's got to be called because everybody had their hands on it. Possession goes to the Cardinals, and a break, I think, for the Cardinals. That time down. As Eric Palachek returns, replacing Trent Hagman. 5:02 left in the first, 16 all to score. Travel called on John Vitimus, and possession goes to the Orange and Black. 5 minutes exactly remaining in the first half. 16-16. Jerry Petrozellik on top, off to Brian. Looks inside, gets to Zaves, goes up past Bushman for two. The power of Danny Zaves gets him his 4th point of the night. And the Loggers take the lead for only the 2nd time of the night, 18-16. Inside to Eric Palachek, swatted by Zaves out of bounds, and possession to the to the Cardinals with 4:38 left in the half. 18-16, Loggers up by 2, their first lead, 2-0. This is their 2nd lead of the night. Inside to Bushman, his shot will be short. Rebound, Brian Petrozellik off to Jerry Petrozellik. 4.5 left in the half. Jerry Petrozellik off to Matt Pallas. Pallas goes inside for Zaves, over Bushman, pass, shot is good for 2. Danny Zaves has 6, 4 points here in the last minute and a half of the ball game. 4:13 left in the second, 20-16 Loggers by 4. Pretzel looks inside, keeps possession as it looked like it was knocked away by Jerry Petrozellik. Bushman out to Tomczak. Inside, backdoor, John Vitimus, it's good. The senior picks up his 4th point of the ball game. 20-18 Loggers by 2. Jerry Petrozellik to Brian Petrozellik. Looks for the cutter, finds no cutter. Now it's put on the floor, almost taken by John Vitimus, kicked away by Petrozellik, recovered by Bushman. Park with a chance to tie or take the lead. 3:35, the steal by Matt Pallas. 3-on-2 Logger break. Pallas takes it all the way. Wants a foul, but no call. Matt's not a happy boy. He's got to settle down and get off, take some time, I think. But he's not going to sit down as Woody and McCormick return. Brian Petrozellik and Justin Masick will sit. Hagman back in the lineup, drives in, puts it up in front of Pallas. Shot no good. Rebound, Eric Palachek swatted by Zaves. Recovered by Woody. Here come the Loggers. Quickly down court. Zaves wants to take it all the way. Stopped, loses it. Recovered by Jerry Pretzel. 3:05 left in the second. Cross court to Bushman. Drives inside, but before he takes it in, he's called for walking. 3:03 left in the second. 20-18 the score. Jerry Petrozellik brings it across to Jason Woody. Woody on the perimeter, cross court to Jerry Petrozellik. Goes baseline, puts it up, triple team block. Rebound by Petrozellik. Now in trouble, goes across to Woody out on the perimeter. Woody to Zaves. Zaves goes inside for McCormick in the paint for 2. Bill McCormick gets his first points of the ball game. 22-18, the Logger lead back up to 4. Daryl Palachek, some of the Logger faithful wanting a carry, gets none. Pretzel goes inside for Eric Palachek in the paint. Tied up by Pallas, recovered by McCormick. Woody to Jerry Petrozellik. 2:20 remaining in the second. Across to Zaves, goes past Bushman in front of Eric Palachek, and it's good for 2. Zaves at 8, 6 points here in period number 2. Timeout Park Falls, 2:11 left in the second. Park was up at one time by 7. Now it's the Loggers by 6, 24-18. This is Logger Vision's presentation of Logger basketball on Price County Telephone Company Cable, Channel 6. It was 14-9 at the break. At the end of the first period, Loggers outscoring Park Falls 15-4 to gain a 6-point lead. Hagman wants to go baseline, stopped by Zaves and Woody. Off to Pretzel. Pretzel dishes it inside, right in the hands of Bill McCormick with the takeaway. Ahead to Brian Petrozellik, to McCormick. Wants to take it to the hole, instead shoots it from 8. Shot no good. Zaves with the second. That won't go. Rebound, Eric Palachuk. 1:44 left in the half. Ahead, Daryl Palachuk. Off to Pritzel. 1:37 left in the second. 24-18. Loggers by 6. Daryl Palachuk looks inside, looks for a cutter. Everybody 15 feet from the basket. Palachuk to Bushman. Out to Hagman. Woody, I think, with the save. Save again by Petrozellik off of Pritzel. And a foul called on the Loggers. That'll be team foul 4 on the Loggers. That's on Jason Woody. Woody picks up his first, team foul 4. As Pritzel sits down and John Vitamus returns. Daryl Palachuk to inbound. Cardinals around the box. 1:20 left in the second. 24-18 the score. On top to John Vitamus. Looks inside, goes cross court to Daryl Palachuk. Goes inside, puts it up in front of McCormick, and an offensive foul called. Team foul 6 on the Cards. Goes to Daryl Palachuk. That's his first. And the Loggers will be in the bonus after this inbound. 1:12 left in the second. 24-18 the score. 1-2-2 pressure. The turnaround by Zaves. Shot no good. Knocked away by Petrozellik. McCormick with a fadeaway doesn't get it. Third time it's swatted. And the foul called on Phil Bushman. And that will be his first. And Bill McCormick goes to the stripe. Phil Bushman picks up his first. Team foul 7 on the Cardinals. So that will send the Loggers to the line in the form of Bill McCormick. As Sam Herbst, 44, checks into the Cardinal lineup, replacing Hagman. Bill McCormick to the line. He has 2 points in the night. He's averaging 52% from the free throw line. The senior will shoot 2. His first is good. 25-18, Loggers by 7. We're just under a minute, 59 seconds remaining in the first half. The second for Bill off the iron, no good, so he's at his average. Rebound, Eric Palachuk to Daryl Palachuk. And Daryl slows it down. Loggers 2 for 3 from the free throw line. McCormick 1 for 2. He has 3 points. The shot by Eric Palachuk off the iron, no good. Bill McCormick with another rebound. McCormick leading the Loggers with 7 boards a ball game. Wants to up it, and he's doing it so far tonight. Woody on the perimeter to Matzik for 3. No, off the iron, tip by Zaves. Will he get a third try? No, saved by Woody. Goes out to Matzik. Takes it to the hole. Won't go, but he'll shoot 2. 27 seconds left in the second period. The foul called on Eric Palachuk is his second, team foul 8 for the Cardinals. And Justin Matzik, who's averaging 69% from the free throw line, will shoot a pair. Loggers 2 for 3 from the line for Justin, his first time at the stripe. And he's picked up his first point in the ball game. He had 9 against Park Falls and averaging 14 points a game. Picks up point number 1 with 27 seconds left in the half. The second for the sophomore is good. Justin 2 for 2, 2 points. 27-18, Loggers by 9, the biggest lead of the night. 20 seconds remaining in the second period. Daryl Palachuk slowing it down. Breaks inside. 3-on-2 break. Gets it off to Herbst. Sam Herbst gets his first points of the ball game. 9 seconds left. 27-20. The steal by Daryl Palachuk to the hole. It's good. Daryl Palachuk has his first points of the ball game. 27-22. The shot at the horn is short. The Loggers have the momentum going into the last half a minute, but Park Falls may have gotten it back. It's a 5-point ball game. Phillips 27, Park Falls 22. This is Logger Vision's presentation of Logger basketball on Price County Telephone Company Cable, Channel 6. And at the intermission, the score, the Phillips Loggers 27.
The Loggers won the conference.
91. 92? 92. 92. 92. We had, conversations over here. Paulette can't remember things. Anyway, at halftime, the Loggers lead 27-22. And the scoring highlights of the first half. For the Loggers, they're led by Dan Zaves with 8 points. 6 of those points coming in the second quarter. The Loggers outscoring Park Falls 18-8 in period number 2. Zaves with 8, 5 points each for the Petrozalik brothers, Brian and Jerry. 4 points for Matt Pallas, 3 points for Bill McCormick, 2 points for Justin Matzik. Matzik, the Loggers' leading scorer, held to just 2 Loggers, 80% from the free throw line, 4 for 5. Park Falls, well, they're led by 3 different players, Mike Vitamus and John Vitamus, as well as Jerry Pritzel, each with 4, Derek Palachek and Eric Palachek, Sam Herbst, and Trent Hagman, each with a pair. Park 2 for 4 from the line. That's 50%. Loggers have possession as we begin period number 3. Up by 5, 27-22. Both teams coming out with their starting 5. Brian Petrosalik on top, off to Pallas. Won't try the 3. Goes inside for Matzik. Tipped away, recovered by Zaves. Off to Jerry Petrosalik. Puts it up in front of Mike Vitamus, and it's good for 2. Jerry has 7 points in the ball game, 29-22. Loggers up by 7. Daryl Palachek on the perimeter. Goes inside, puts it up. Pass. Pallas. The rebound by Phil Bushman, and it's good for 2. Bushman with 4. 29-24. Loggers up by 5. Brian Petrosalik won't try it from 24. Off to Matzik. Cross court to Zaves. He can hit it from 18 if he wants to. Jerry Petrosalik to Brian Petrosalik. Goes inside for Matzik. Tries to dish to Zaves. Knocked away by Eric Palachek. Ahead to John Vitamus and slows it down after he mishandled the ball. And down court, Mike Vitamus dishes it off to Jerry Pritzel. Shot long, no good. Rebound Zaves. And a reach is going to be called. An over-the-back call on Phil Bushman. That's his second team foul 1 on the Cardinals. 29-24, Loggers by 5, looking to up it to 8 this time down if they nail the tray. 6:50 remaining in the third period. On the far side, that's Brian Petrosalik to Jerry Petrosalik to Pallas. Won't try the 3. Wants to launch from 15, but covered quickly off to Matzik. Justin with his first field goal of the ball game. 4 points for the sophomore, and it's 31-24, Loggers by 7. On the far side, the pass by John Vitamus goes wide. Another lucky fan is a souvenir, and possession goes to the Loggers. John Vitamus replaces Mike Vitamus. 6:30 remaining in the third. Loggers by 7, 31-24. In the game of Park Falls, the Loggers were leading by 18 before Park Falls lit it up right at the end as the Loggers brought in second-string players. It's the first string of Park Falls. Ball knocked out of bounds by Daryl Palachek, and possession stays with the Loggers to make it a 9-point ball game. Park Falls coming out of the gate strong, up by as many as 6. Zaves from 17. Danny with 10 points. 33-24, Loggers by 9. Pritzel, ball knocked away by Jerry Petrosalik to Pallas. Matt Pallas bounce passes it off of Jerry Pritzel's leg, and possession goes to the Loggers as Trent Hagman returns for the Cards, replacing Phil Bushman. The inbound by Brian Petrosalik. 2, 3, they're going to get the ball in to Pallas. Matt stopped in the perimeter, now brings it to the three-point line. Knocked away by Daryl Palachek, but returns to Pallas. Off to Brian Petrosalik. Loggers looking for the easy shot, looking for the quick opening. Brian Petrosalik has the ball, knocked away, then he touches it. It goes out of bounds. Brian pleading his case, but gets no call, and possession goes to the Cards. 5:45 left in the third. Loggers up by 9 points. On the perimeter, that's John Vitamus. Gets it off to Eric Palachek. Palachek in trouble, goes for Hagman. Knocked off the hands of Daryl Palachek into the hands of Dan Zaves. And here come the Loggers, a chance to go up by 11 or 12. Pallas on the perimeter. Off to Jerry Petrosalik. Back to Matt. Open, won't get the 3. Goes inside to Matzik. Dishes it off the last minute to Brian Petrosalik. Counted it 1! Brian Petrosalik with his 7th point of the ball game, and a chance to make it 8. As the foul is called on Hagman, that's his second team foul, too. And Sam Herbst will check into the lineup, and Hagman will sit down. Team foul 2 for the Cards. As Brian Petrosalik will try to convert the three-point play. He is an 81% free throw shooter, and he does. Brian Petrozellik 1 for 1 from the line, 8 points in the night. 36-24, Loggers by a dozen. The drive inside by John Vinimus, nearly uncontested, and Vinimus has 6. 36-26, 5 minutes left in the third. Palace on the perimeter. To Jerry Petrozellik, to Palace inside to Zaves. Puts it up over Herbst. His shot is short. Brian Petrozellik had it, but taken by Jerry Pritzel. Inside to John Vinimus, the swat by Matzik. Ahead to Zaves, to Brian Petrozellik for 2. The senior has 10. It's a 12-point lead again, 38-26. Daryl Palachuk on top to Pritzel. To Daryl Palachuk. Goes inside, puts it up, blocked, but taken by Pritzel, by Herbst. That ball knocked away and recovered by the Loggers. And here comes Brian Petrozellik with it. 4:09 left in the third. The three-pointer by Palace, off the iron, no. Rebound, Herbst. Knocked away by Palace, ahead to Zaves. Wants to go back to Palace, but taken by Sam Herbst. We're under 4 minutes remaining in the third. 38-26, Loggers by 12. Inside to Herbst. Stopped 14 feet from the basket. Gets off to Daryl Palachuk. Cross court to John Vinimus. To Herbst. Pulls up from 13 off the iron, no. Rebound, Matt Palace. 3:40 left in the third. Jerry Petrozellik. Off to Brian Petrozellik. To Jerry. To Palace in the corner for 3. Wide open, he drains it. Matt Palace hits the tray. He has 7. It's a 15-point Logger lead, 41-26. Daryl Palachuk off to Jerry Pritzel. Jerry Petrozellik on him. Herbst back to Pritzel. Pulls up from 16 off the back iron, no good. Brian Petrozellik has it. Brings it down 3-on-2 Logger break. Brian wants to go to the hole and an offensive foul called on the senior. Brian Petrozellik out of control underneath and gets tagged for the foul. Possession goes to the Cardinals. Woody and McCormick return as Zaves and Brian Petrozellik sit down. Derek Larson returns, and sitting down Daryl Palachuk. 3:09 left in the third, 41-26. Loggers by 15. John Vinimus across to Pritzel. Almost taken away by Jerry Petrozellik, but Jerry picks up the foul. That's his first. Team foul 2 for the Loggers. So each team up with 2 team fouls, as Mike Vinimus will return, replacing Jerry Pritzel. 2:59 left in the third, 41-26 the score. Mike Vinimus puts it up over Jerry Petrozellik, shot off the iron, no good. And Jason Woody with another rebound. Ahead for the Loggers. Jerry Petrozellik brings it across. Off to Palace. Looks inside. Won't try from 24 to Woody. Goes inside for McCormick. To the hole for 2. Bill McCormick with 5. 43-26. Loggers by 17. Slow but sure like the tortoise. The Loggers getting command of this ball game. Pass inside to Herbst. Goes past Woody. Swat and the steal by Matzik. And instead they're going to call a jump ball possession to the Cards. A break for Park Falls. But a good job by the Loggers sophomore Justin Matzik with the takeaway. 2:26 left in the third, 43-26 the score. The inbound to Herbst. Cross court to Mike Vinimus. In the corner to John Vinimus. Puts it up over Woody. It's good. John Vinimus has 8. He had 12 against the Loggers up in Park Falls. Palace on the perimeter. Looks baseline. Stops out to Petrozellik to Woody. Back to Jerry Petrozellik. Reverse. Into from 14. Pass inside to Woody for 2. Jason wide open underneath. Gets the easy 2. It's back to 17, 45-28 with 1:54 remaining in the third. On the far side, that is Eric Palachuk. Goes inside for Derek Larson. And a foul called underneath will send Derek Larson to the free throw line. A chance to convert a 3-point play. The foul called on Justin Matzik is his first. Team foul 3. Well, they're saying that he was on the floor, so the basket doesn't count. 45-28 as Brian Petrozellik and Zaves return. And sitting down are Palace and Matzik. From the corner is Mike Vitimus, and he's fouled by Dan Zaves. Dan went for the block and instead got Mike Vitimus. 1:44 left in the third. The question is, no, they're going to say it's underneath. I thought maybe we might get shots here, but no call. Team foul 4 on the Loggers. The inbound by Mike Vitimus goes backdoor to John in front of Brian Petrozellik. It's good for 2. John Vitimus has 10 points, leading the Cardinals 45-30, 1:35 remaining period 3. Loggers up by 15. Jerry Petrozellik is called for a travel in traffic, and possession goes to Park Falls. 90 seconds left here in the first period, and we'll see substitutions for the Loggers at the next whistle. And I believe Steve Nichols will see some time now. The shot by Mike Vitimus drains it from 16. Mike Vitimus with 6, and all of a sudden it's a 13-point ball game with 1:15 showing here in the third. Jerry Petrozellik to McCormick on the perimeter. Across to Zaves. And the Logger faithful saying that was tipped out by John Vitimus. And now they're recanting. Yes, that John Vitimus did have contact with the ball, and possession goes to the Loggers. It looked like it moved. There was a deflection in the direction of the ball, but who might have questioned officials? Steve Nichols, 34 in the Logger lineup, replacing Jerry Petrozellik. 1 minute remaining in the third, 45-32. Brian for 3 off the rim, no good. Woody with the rebound, his turnaround, that's off the iron. Rebound, Brian Petrozellik, and I think we might see an over-the-back call on Brian Petrozellik, I think. We'll wait for the call. No, the foul was called on Bill McCormick, pushing into a Park Falls player, and possession goes to the Cardinals with 52 seconds remaining in the third. Mike Vitimus stopped by Nichols. The turnaround from 13, no good. And that's going to be a reach. No? That's going to be a foul on Eric Palachuk. The foul on Eric Palachuk is his third, team foul 3 for the Cardinals, for the same thing that was done on the opposite end. 40 seconds left in the third, so those are a wash. Brian Petrozellik off to Zaves. Looks inside, goes off on top to Nichols. Across to Brian Petrozellik, goes baseline, puts it up, count it, 1! Brian Petrozellik with 12 points in the ball game and a chance to make it 13 as Sam Herbst picks up his first foul. Team foul 4 on the Cards. Loggers with 5 team fouls, Park Falls with 4, and Brian Petrozellik to convert the three-point play. He does. The senior with a baker's dozen as John Tomczak checks into the lineup. 48-32 Loggers by 16 with 29 seconds remaining in the third period. Mike Vitimus off to John Vitimus. Kicks the ball, taken by Danny Zaves. 1-on-2, Zaves to the hole. Knocked away, recovered by Nichols. That knocked away, recovered by Brian Petrozellik, and the foul will be called on Mike Vitimus. Andy Pilch wanting a foul a couple bumps ago, but doesn't get it until that time. The third foul on Mike Vitimus. Team foul 5 for Park Falls, so each 2 away from the bonus. The inbound to Zaves. To Brian Petrozellik. His 14-footer is good. Brian with 15 points, 10 in this period. 3 seconds, 2 seconds at the horn, wide right. The Loggers on top by 18, 50-32. This is Logger Vision's presentation of Logger basketball on Price County Telephone Company Cable, Channel 6. And the Loggers have possession as we begin period 4. Phillips up by 18 points, 50-32. Loggers have outscored Park Falls 41-18 in the last 2 quarters of play. Inside to Matzik, loses control, almost saved by Jerry Petrozellik, goes out of bounds, and possession goes to the Cardinals. 7:49 left in the fourth, 50-32 the score. John Vitimus across to Derek Larson. Looks inside, looks for a cutter, now is in trouble, has to bring it out, goes out to John Vitimus. He looks for the cutter. Goes out to Herbst on the far side. To John Vinimus, knocked away, taken by Zaves. Ahead to Brian Petrozellik. He's having a scramble with it with Mike Vinimus. He's on the sideline, and possession goes with the Loggers. 7:26 left in the fourth. Loggers up by 18. Zaves in the corner won't try the 20-footer. To Jerry Petrozellik to Matt Pallas. Pallas looks for something cutting inside. He cuts inside, dishes back out to Jerry Petrozellik. Pulls up for three. No. Rebound, Herbst. 7:08 left in the fourth. 50-32. Loggers up by 18. Into a wide open Mike Vinimus shot. No good after it was blocked by Pallas. Brian Petrozellik with the recovery. Quickly down court to Matzik. Off to Jerry Petrozellik. Jerry drives in. His shot from 12. No good. The tip by Matzik is good. He has 6. 52-32. Loggers by 20. On the perimeter, that's Mike Vinimus off to Larson to John Vinimus. His shot is short, and Dan Zaves with feet flat gets the board. Ahead to Jerry Petrozellik. Into Matzik inside, all alone, misses the easy bucket. Takes the hard one. A jump ball called, and possession goes to Park Falls. .6:27 left in the fourth. 52-32. Loggers with the only 2 of the fourth quarter thus far. Mike Vinimus looks inside, goes for Derek Larson, puts up in front of Zaves and won't go. I think Danny's going to get his third personal foul. We'll wait for the call here. The foul is on Dan Zaves. That's his third. Team foul 6. So Derek Larson goes to the free throw line, looking for his first points of the game. He had 5 against the Loggers up in Park Falls. Mass substitution for the Cards. Hagman returns. Pritzel returns. Palachek returns, and let's see, I'm missing one here. Oh, Palachek's return. Eric and Darrell. Okay. End of the free throw line, Derek Larson to shoot the 2-shot foul. Picks up his first point of the ball game. Park Falls now 3 for 5 from the free throw line. 6:17 left in the fourth. 52-33, the Logger lead at 19. And the first points of the fourth quarter go to Derek Larson for the Cardinals. First points of the Park Falls side of the scoreboard. 52-34, the Logger lead back to 12.5. Jerry Petrozellik off to Pallas. Loggers playing the perimeter game a ways away from the three-point line. Petrozellik looks inside, goes to Zaves, has the wide open 16-footer, takes to the hole instead, short. Zaves gets a second chance, loses as he goes up, and I think the foul will be called on Pritzel. The foul on Jerry Pritzel is his second, team foul 6, so after these free throws, both teams will be in the bonus for the rest of the ball game. 5:55 left to the fourth. 52-34, Zaves to shoot 2. The first no good. Dan on the season is a 63% free throw shooter. His first time at the line, he has 10 points in the night, and he misses the first of the 2-shot foul. The second is no good. Rebound, Matt Pallas among the Pines pulls out, launches the tray. Yes! Matt Pallas has 10. 55-34, Loggers by 21 with 5:43 left in the fourth. On top, Larson off to Hagman. Goes baseline, loses control, hits the end line, and possession goes to the Loggers. 5:35 left in the fourth, 55-34. Phillips up by 21. Jerry Petrozellik to Brian Petrozellik into Matzik, over his head, hits the end line, and ball goes to Park Falls. Loggers doing what they need to do, get the ball inside, get the easy bucket. It worked very well in the second and in the third, but sometimes you go to the hole once too often, and that was one of the cases. Larson off to Jerry Pritzel. Pritzel stopped from having a chance to go baseline. Off to Eric Palachek, shot no good. Zaves with the rebound, and Danny, not seeing a run, smartly pulls out. 5 minutes left in the fourth. Loggers by 21, 55-34. Brian Petrozellik off to Jerry Petrozellik for 3. Rims out. Zaves underneath, puts it up, count it for 2. Dan Zaves with a dozen, 57-34. Loggers by 23. Pritzel, the give and go from and to Daryl Palachek, and the foul called on Matt Pallas. That's his second team foul, 7. And the Cardinals now officially in the bonus, as that is the 7th team foul on the Loggers. And Daryl Palachek will go to the line, I believe, to shoot 2. A 2-shot foul for the junior, Daryl Palachek. His first time to the line, he has 2 points, make it 3 as he converts the first of the 2-shot foul. Park Falls is now 5 for 7 from the line. That's 71%. The second is good. Daryl Palachek, 4 points of the night. 57-36 Loggers by 21. 4:30 remaining in the fourth. Brian Petrozalek off to Justin Matzik. On the far side to Jerry Petrozalek. Back to brother Brian. Looks for the cut. Gets it off to Pallas. Will he launch from 23? Fakes it. Now goes inside. Wants to dish it off to Matzik, but Pallas called for the walk. 4:17 left in the fourth. 57-36. The Logger lead at 21. Daryl Palachek on the perimeter on the far side, guarded by Pallas. 23 feet from the basket, won't shoot. Gets it off to Larson in the paint. His shot no good. Ball will be off of Zaves, and possession stays Cards. 4:04 left in the fourth. 57-36 the score. The inbound by Larson off to Eric Palachek. Gets back to Larson from Pritzel. His shot is short. Tipped by Pritzel, recovered by Eric Palachek. He loses control of it. Goes to floor, recovered by Jerry Pritzel. Off to Daryl Palachek from 15. It's good. Daryl Palachek has 6 points. 57-48. The Logger lead at 19. 3:43 left in the fourth. Brian Petrozalek looks inside. Cross to Zaves. Goes baseline. Count it for 2. Danny with 14 points. 59-38. The Loggers back up by 21. On the far side, Daryl Palachek goes inside for Larson. His shot's good. Derek Larson gets his first bucket. He has 4. 3:20 left in the fourth. 59-40. The cut inside to Pallas and pulls it out. Tries the 3 from the corner again off the back iron. No good. Saves with the board. His shot blocked by Pritzel. Off to eventually to Jerry Petrozalek for 3. That one's good. Nice feed from Brian Petrozalek to Jerry Petrozalek. Pritzel can't control, and possession goes to the Loggers at midcourt as Woody and McCormick return, replacing Zaves and Matzik. Phil Bushman returns. He will replace Hagman. And we have a little mass substitution here, as 14 Corey Hilgard, a 5'7" junior, checks in, and he will replace Pritzel. 2:55 left in the fourth. 62-40. Loggers by 22. The drive inside by Jerry Petrozalek off to Woody. His shot off the iron, no good. Rebound Daryl Palachek. 2:40 left here in the fourth. 62-40. The 3 by Hilgard, no good. Rebound goes to the Loggers. Jerry Petrozalek ahead to McCormick. The 3 by Brian Petrozalek, wide right. Pallas to the hole. Nice move by the junior, and he gets the bucket. 12 points for Matt Pallas. 64-40 Loggers by 24, their biggest lead of the night. Daryl Palachek on top, gets in the paint. The foul called on Matt Pallas, and that will send Palachek back to the free throw line where he's 2 for 2 from the stripe. The foul called on Matt Pallas, that's his third. And sitting down will be Brian Petrozalek and Matt Pallas. I imagine that's all we're going to see of Brian, as he will most likely finish the night with 15 points. 54, Corey Kemp checks in for Park Falls. Trevor Rasky, number 20, checks in the lineup for the first time, as the first one. Daryl Palachek makes the first. He's 3 for 3 from the line. He has 7 points, make it 7. Still stays at 7. The rebound by McCormick ahead to Trevor Rasky. To Nichols. Steve Nichols back in the lineup. saved, I believe, by John Tomczak, who's back in the lineup. Hits the end line, or sideline, and possession goes to the Loggers. 2:06 left in the fourth. 64-41 Loggers by 23. Woody all alone and a chance for the 23-footer, doesn't take it. Jerry Petrozalik looks for the cutter, goes off to Woody, to Rasky, won't try it from 21, off to Nichols. Nichols goes inside, stopped out to Woody. Woody, he pulls up from 16 off the backboard, no good. Ball tipped, the foul will be called on Jason Woody. That's his second, team foul 8, and we'll bring it to the other end to shoot some free throws with 1:48 left in the fourth. The Loggers host Tomahawk on Friday night, that's tomorrow night, as the Loggers seemingly on their way with 108 seconds remaining in the ball game to go to 6-0 in conference. Loggers have conference game Friday night, and then Monday night the Loggers take on Tomahawk on Friday night, and the last home game of the regular season as Phil Bushman picks up his first free throw. He's 1 for 3 from the line. The last home game for the Loggers during the regular season as Bushman makes the second Monday night against Northland Pines. That's February 12th. Same night as the Iowa caucuses, but you don't have to watch the election results anyway. The swat of the shot by Rasky, and Trevor will shoot 2. The Loggers will host and have a bye in the first round of the tournament. Corey Kemp picks up his first. That's team foul 7 on the Cardinals. So Trevor Rasky to shoot 2. He's a 67% free throw shooter. First is around and good. A pretty free throw attempt by the sophomore. 65-43 Loggers by 22. Make it 66 as Trevor makes the second. 2 points for Trevor Rasky. 66-43 Loggers by 23. Tomczak for 3. Wide left. Rebound McCormick. Ahead to Jerry Petrozalik. Jerry to the hole. Lost control of it. Scramble for it, and a foul, I believe, will be called on Steve Nichols. Nichols will pick up his first. That's team foul 9 on the Loggers. And we'll bring it down to the other end. 1:23 left in the fourth, 66-43. And to the line for the first time, Corey Hilgard looking for his first points of the ball game. 1:23 left in the fourth, 66-43. By the way, I shouldn't say that the Hayward game has not been made up as of yet. We have no official indication on whether that game will be made up. As soon as we know that, we'll get the word along to you here on Channel 6. The first for Hilgard is good, and so is the second. Corey Hilgard, 2 points in the night, 2 for 2 from the line. 66-45 with 1:20 left in the fourth. The Loggers by 21. Rasky off to Woody on the perimeter. Jason goes off to Rasky. The give and go, nice no-look pass to Woody, but he can't control it. Off to Jerry Petrozalik, pulls up, swatted by Daryl Palachuk. Ahead to Bushman, ahead to Palachuk to the hole, counter for 2. And a technical foul has been called on Phil Bushman for making contact. And Jerry Petrozalik will go to the free throw line. It's the third foul on Phil Bushman, by the way, officially. Team foul 8. And Jerry Petrozalik to shoot the 2-shot penalty. His first is good. Jerry 2 for 2 from the line. And he has 11 points in the night. The second, maybe a dozen for the sophomore. The Loggers will have it at midcourt. 58 seconds left in the fourth. 68-47. Loggers by 21. Jerry Petrozalik off to Steve Nichols. Goes in baseline, puts it up, and fouled as he goes to the hole, I believe by Corey Kemp, and that will be his second. So Corey picks up his second. That's team foul 9. And Steve Nichols to the free throw line to shoot 2. Steve on the season, not one of the better Logger free throw shooters, misses the front side of the 2-shot foul. I believe, if memory serves, he is 0 for 2. 0 for 2 on the season, make it 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Woody with the board, pulls it out. to Jerry Petrozellik. Doesn't get a chance at 3. Goes to Woody. Jason's chance at 21 stymied. Jerry Petrozellik back to Jason Woody. Goes baseline. A shot from 18 is good. Jason Woody with 4. 70-47 Loggers by 23. Half a minute left. The pass inside for Bushman. Puts it up over Woody. It won't go, but Bill Bushman will shoot 2 as Jason Woody picks up his 3rd. Team foul number 10 on the Loggers. So a 2-shot foul the rest of the way through for the Cards. The Loggers averaging 71% on the offensive side. They have 70 thus far with 29 seconds left in the 4th. The first is no good for Bushman. Phil Bushman with 6 points in the night is 2 for 5 now from the line. The second for Bushman is good. The Loggers averaging 56 points a game defensively, holding Park Falls to 48. Woody inside to Rasky, lost control, puts it up, caught it, and 1. Trevor Rasky with his first bucket of the ball game. He has 4, and a chance to make it 5 if he converts the 3-point play. The foul called on Corey Kemp. That's his 3rd. Team foul 10 for the Cards. So both teams in the 2-shot bonus penalty. But Trevor to shoot to convert the 3-point play. He has 5 points of the night. 73-48, 16 seconds left. And the Loggers will cut the deficit in the record to 11. The block by McCormick ahead to Jerry Petrozellik. 4 seconds, 3 seconds to Rasky to the hole. Counter for 2 at the horn. Trevor Rasky will finish the night with 7 points, and the Phillips Loggers will finish tonight's ball game with a 75-48 victory over the Park Falls Cardinals. Go to 6-0 in the LJAC and have, well, you could say a 2-game lead over Lakeland, because Lakeland has 2 losses on the season, 1 to Ashland, which the Loggers will see next Friday night, and 1 to the Loggers, 1 to Ashland, 1 to Phillips earlier in the season. This is a big game for the Loggers. They needed to make sure they did well in this one, and then go into tomorrow night's game with Tomahawk, so that 2 teams very evenly matched, both the Cardinals and the Hatchets, to make sure that this the Loggers don't let down in this time where you're going to see 3 games in a week for the rest of the season for the Loggers. They're going to get tired as the season goes along. The Loggers host Tomahawk Friday night, Northland Ponds Monday, then go on the road for the rest of the regular season, at least that we know of. They will play in Flambeau on Tuesday night. They will play at Ashland Friday night. They will play at Lakeland, which may determine the conference title that night on a week from Tuesday. 2 weeks from tonight, they play at Medford. In the last game of the season, they will play at Northland Pines.